Hi there, I'm Grant Patterson. I'm the author of 9 published books, including the Will Bryant Thrillers series, and today I'm going to be talking about the 3rd book in that series, The Wolf of Penha. Here we are, March 2020. As you all know, the planet Earth is pretty much shut down, so that leaves people like me, who are writers, almost in paradise, I guess, weird as it sounds, free to pursue our craft without too much interruption. We'll see how that actually plays out. I'm doing these videos with the aid of my wife, who's behind the camera, because I'm a self-published author who's basically got to take care of a lot of his own publicity and amongst other things. I find the writing is the easiest part, the publicity is hard, but here we are. I'm making a video to tell you about each one of my books in turn. So this time we'll talk about The Wolf of Penha, which is the 3rd in the Will Bryant Thrillers series, and it follows on the events of Back in Slowly, the 2nd book, and Southern Cross, the 1st book. Will, the main character, Canadian who lives in Brazil with his family, and Edelson, his partner, who's a Brazilian policeman, are associated with a shadowy police organization called the Grupo. In this book here, we find out a lot more about both Edelson's background and the true purpose and reach of the Grupo. The way this comes about is a serial killer who's been long dormant in Sao Paulo comes back into action, and there's a personal tie here with Edelson's background. His sister was killed in very similar circumstances in the early 1990s, and now he needs Will's help to go after this guy and to make him pay. Unfortunately, their actions lead them to be back on the radar screens of their enemies in the PCC, the Primeiro Comando de Capital, the most powerful gang in Sao Paulo, and that's where things start to get really chaotic. So The Wolf of Penha is a bridge, basically, between the first 2 books and the conclusion of this particular storyline that Will and Edelson are caught up in, which will be the next book I'll be talking about, called Only the Dead. So I hope you enjoy The Wolf of Penha. It's a very compact book. It's not really a murder mystery, but it is a murder story, and in that it sort of differs from the other 3 books in the series, so it's unique in that sense. It's set in a neighborhood where my in-laws live, which is a very sort of gritty working class neighborhood of Sao Paulo. And it basically, I was inspired to write it by the time that I spent there. I saw the dark streets and the graffiti in the alleyways, and I thought, this is a tough, tough place. And that's where Edelson comes from, and that explains a lot about who he is. So it's kind of an origin story in that way. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back soon to talk about the 4th and so far last published book in the Will Bryant Thrillers series, called Only the Dead. Thanks for your time.